Live. Good evening, everyone. This is Pris Wood with No Ordinary Huddle. Hope you're doing okay tonight. It's been some time, but we're back getting show scheduled. And as you know how I do it, we jump right into the introductions. I'm going to start with Nicole, and then we're going to go to Kristi. Tell us your team and how long you've been a fan of your team. Nicole, you first.
Hello, everyone. This is Nicole. I am a Buffalo Bills fan, and I've been a fan, oh gosh, probably since my teens. So, well over 40 years. So, thank you for having this. Is this the first one of the season, this football season?
Yeah, this is the first one of the season because I think the last one that we had was like end of July or so. So it's been a
Okay,
while.
awesome.
Yes.
But thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me. I'm glad to see you.
you're welcome. And I actually, that's why I want to make it a her story because I feel like, me, I like to do stuff different. I want to have the her story first. So, Christy,
Awesome.
tell us your team and how long you've been a fan.
Hello, I'm Kristi. So I am Baltimore Ravens. Go Lamar. And I've been a fan since 2006. So for over a bunch of years now.
Okay. One of you have something in the background. I'm not sure if you want to mute that or not, so that way you can be here so it's clear so everyone can hear you. We're missing Brandie. Brandie is on her way home. She'll sign in when she can. If not, guys, I'll definitely have her back another time. Once again, this is Pris Wood, No Ordinary Huddle. These are members of my Facebook group, National Football Lovers, and you know how we do. We love the fans, but we definitely going to mess with each other's teams. As you know, my team is the ultimate, the Raiders. I mean, we know. I've been a fan forever. I mean, forever. So there's not much I haven't seen with the team, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. Um, as you know, mostly for me, it's always about my guests. I'm doing like a fill-in because we're waiting for Brandy to get, to join in. With that being said, we're going to jump right into the first question. I know, Nicole, you've answered this before, but what made you become a fan of your team and stay a fan of your team? We're going to go, Chris. I know you mentioned Lamar. Is that the only reason, or was it
No.
the organization? So we're going to go Christy, and then we're going to go Nicole.
Okay, so in 2006, it's actually a funny story. I watched the movie The Blind Side, and I just fell in love with the Ravens since then. And I know everything that came out with the movie this year, but I've been a fan since. I've seen them win the Super Bowl. I've seen us have a whole new quarterback. Yeah, I've watched Lamar since he was in high school. So when draft night came, I did say that I did want. I said, I hope we get Lamar. I hope we get Lamar. When I heard Lamar's name, I dropped to the floor, and it just made me double the fan. But I've always been a diehard fan of the Ravens.
What about you, Nicole?
So, my mom was a big time Bills fan. She would be the one screaming at the TV during preseason. So, we really didn't have much of a choice on Sundays. We had to sit down and watch football. So even through all of the Super Bowl losses and the playoff drought, I stayed with them. And it's the home team. I think about all the places in the country that doesn't have a professional sports team to root for. So I'm grateful that we have our Bills. So that's why I stick with them. It's a love-hate relationship. I tell people I should break up with them because they never won a Super Bowl ring to put a ring on it. But
Exactly.
I
I
love
always
them.
said, in the words of Beyonce, put a ring on it. But I mean, I've been a Raiders fan since, oh my gosh, my dad got me started watching the Raiders before I could do pretty much anything else. I'm from the East Coast, so I was pretty much the only Raiders fan forever. So my family, they know my love for the Raiders goes like way, way back. And then I kind of was kind of crushing on Al Davis for a long time because I thought he was like, look at this guy. I mean, he's real savvy and stuff. So that's what made me stay a fan. Just all the great things he's done for the league and for the organization. So I've just always stayed a fan and will always be a fan. Now, Nicole, a quick question. You mentioned because it's the home team. Do you feel like most fans, or do you guys both feel like that most fans like the home team, or does it just vary on the team itself? We'll go Nicole, then Christy. Christy, your photo is really dark. I don't know if you noticed it or not.
Oh, is it? I don't know why. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
What about you, Nicole? Do you feel like most fans go with the home team, or does it just vary?
I think it varies. I was actually thinking about that today. Like, if I didn't live here, like, is there other teams that I root for? I think there are certain teams I still root for anyway. But I think, a lot of times it's just part of your upbringing and your lineage if you've had a team in your city for a very long time. So it's almost like an unspoken rule to root for them. I know a lot of people that live here that are not fans. So I can
Right.
see it, either way. But like I said, I'm grateful that we have a team to root for. So that's probably why I stick with them so hard.
What about you, Christy?
So I feel like I don't know why it's so dark. I feel like as um being from New York, a lot of people are, oh, you got to be a Giants or Jets fan. And I just feel like having a reason behind why you're a fan of a team is so important. So everyone's like, are you from Baltimore? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, why do you like the Baltimore? And I explained the story. I just feel like a lot of people are only fans of the team because, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to be because you're from New York. Oh, because you're from New York, you're supposed to be Giants, Jets, Knicks, Yankees. So once I hear that and I'm like, well, why are you a fan? And they don't have a reason, then I'm like, you're really not a fan. You're just a bandwagon fan.
Exactly. Now I don't get into it because me, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. You can like it or dislike it, just like you're talking. I'm gonna talk. So I understand what you're saying, especially about the New York teams, because those are like diehard teams. Like there's a lot of Jets and Giants in this area. So when I see like a Raiders, I'm like, any other team, it's like, oh wow, because you don't really see that too much because most people do in this area, for some reason, it's the home team, and I'm talking like across the board, from football to baseball and forget about it for hockey. We're not even going to get into that, but it's like the home team. So I was always curious, I always try to get people's opinion on that because I've noticed for some reason for the home team, it's usually like, people really go for that. Quick question. Do you guys travel to very many games? We'll go Christy, then
Yes.
Nicole.
So yes, I'm actually a season ticket holder. So I do go to a lot of the home games in Baltimore. This year it's been a little harder than most because of my kids' schedules and everything, but I do go to a lot of the games.
This is travel. So do you go to the away games or just the home games?
So I go to, well, I guess regardless, it's traveling for me because I live in Connecticut.
Oh,
So
okay. I see. I see.
yes, but I do go to, like, when they play New York, I do go to the MetLife Stadium. But
Oh, you
being
gotta
that
let
I've
me, you
got,
gotta let, I'm sorry. You gotta let me know
oh,
when
no,
you're in
no,
MetLife again, but go ahead.
I will. So being that I'm a huge fan and I talk a lot of crap, I realize that I like going to away games better than our home stadium because you can't talk crap to the same fan. Like I turn to my left, there's a Ravens fan. I turn to my right, there's a Ravens fan. So this year I am trying to go to an away game so that I could talk my crap in the stands.
Nice. What about you, Nicole?
I don't think I've ever traveled out of the area for one of their games. I try to get a regular season game here at home at least once in the season. So I don't travel too much away. My schedule doesn't allow it. But I can see where that would be fun. Like New Orleans is on my bucket list. I'm like, if we
Oh
ever
yeah.
go play there, that would be exciting. So there's places I would love to go to, but my schedule just doesn't allow it.
Yeah, that's how my schedule has been for a long time now. And I'm like Christy, for me, I mean, it's always a travel game, an away game for me, even when it's at home. And I personally, I mean, I want to go to like Raiders games, but I also want to go to games that, like my friends, like I mean, on my list is like Vikings versus Lions. That's like a game I'm definitely going to. If I know I won't make it probably this season, but definitely next season I want to go to that. There are games like that are on my list that I know I'm going to get to, just so I can hang out with my friends and say, hey, watch them enjoy the game. So I'm looking forward to that. But like I said, my schedule is like so. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, much less in a couple of weeks. Now, the next question, because we're talking about traveling to games, just games in general. How do you feel about all these brawls breaking out? Because it's not, before it used to be just at the Raiders. We had that. thing to where it was like Raiders games that were all these fights and different things. How do you feel about the fights breaking out in this other stadiums? We'll go Nicole and then Kristi.
It's been pretty serious, it seems like this year. I think somebody died as a result of a fight at a game.
Yes.
I think there's certain teams that just have historically bad fans, like Philly fans, Buffalo fans, some of your New York fans. I just don't think it's that serious. I think it takes away so much of the family aspect because for a lot of families, this is a family event and you want to just go and enjoy the game. There's so many other things that you worry about. You shouldn't have to worry about your safety just going to a sporting event. So I don't know if they need to address it from a security standpoint. I mean, you can barely bring anything in there anyway, but these things just seem to be spilling out like even before the game start in the parking lot. It just seems like it's getting a lot more attention this year.
I think so too. So we're gonna go Kristi and Brandy's joining us. After Kristi, we're gonna get Brandy caught up on, let her, talk about her team a little bit, and then we'll get on to the next question. So Kristi, how do you feel about all the brawls and everything breaking out at the games?
So I feel like it's just taken away fun from the games. I feel that, when you go to these games and you're a diehard fan, you're supposed to talk, you know, your stuff and you're supposed to rep your team, but then there's a way to do it respectfully. And, I was at a game where a kid got hurt and it really broke my heart. And what was crazy is they're not even like these rival teams that are doing this. Like I was last year at the Jets Ravens game. It was the opening day. And there was a, big, I feel like alcohol plays a big part of it. It was this guy, he was drunk. He was a Jets fan. He was talking smack to a Ravens fan, and the Ravens fan kept, trying to brush him off like, shh, 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 like we're winning, like, shh, shh, shh. And all of a
Right.
sudden, this guy took a beer can and threw it, and it hit this little boy in the head. And the troopers came and they escorted it out, but I do feel like alcohol plays a big part of it. And I feel like they're taking the fun out of these games, like where you just want to stay home and watch the game because now you're concerned for safety.
Yes, exactly. Hi, Brandy.
Hello, ladies. How we doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Good to
Hello.
have
Man, I
you.
was trying to do this from my car, but for some reason my headphone wouldn't connect to my car with the StreamYard on. I'm like, you know what? You're just being difficult.
All
But
right. And
I got
yeah,
it
but at
together.
least you're here now. So everyone, welcome, Brandy. Brandy,
Hello.
tell us your team and how long you've been a fan of your team.
Well, hello, ladies. I am, proud to represent my Minnesota Vikings. I have been, oh man, a Vikings fan since I was probably around 8, 9 years old. I was a little girl. Yep, it's
Big
been a
win
long
last night.
time.
Big
Yeah,
What
win
was
last
that?
night.
that was a huge game. I mean, you know what the game last night, what I really loved about the game last night, what really like it warmed my heart was Addison. Because
Man,
remember
baby, yes.
the defensive back got the ball the first time, and when he ripped that ball in for the touchdown, I was like, yes, I love to
Baby,
see
when
stuff like
he
that.
ate last night. I was so, so,
I
so proud
feel
of that
like
young man.
I feel like
Yeah.
this week's games have been one of the best so far.
Well, this was the best performance I've seen out of my team this season.
Yes.
No
Like,
Yes.
it
comment.
was literally like, oh my God, can we keep them? These are keepers. What are we doing? Let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So
it hurts my heart that JJ's out right now, but you know what? We are stocked and loaded with great talent. It's
Hmm.
just a
yeah,
matter
we're
of using them correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Now, I
Yep.
know you travel to a lot of games, and right, you travel to a lot of games, like different stadiums and all of that,
Yep.
correct?
I've been to a couple.
Okay,
Plan on going to, I want to go to all of them.
all the stadiums.
Yes.
I think there's a couple people in our group that are like 4 or 5 away. Paul is like a couple away. There's a few of them that are like a couple stadiums away from visiting every single stadium, and
I know it's crazy.
that's the new ones. Now, when we get to the other ones, they've probably been to all of those before because some teams change or new stadiums and whatnot, but they've been to pretty much all of them. So we're just finishing up. How do you feel about the brawls that are happening at the games, Brandy?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and people need to get a sense of some tact, some compassion. And at the end of the day, we are all fans of football. Let's not forget, we are fans of the game. At least for me, I'm a fan of the game first, right? I can't help it that know people's loyalties are misplaced by loving other teams, but we all love football. You know what I mean?
Right. And I've seen,
So
the issue. Go ahead. Go finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So for me, it's just a matter of like, people need to they need to step back and cut it out. It just don't make no sense. People are just so violent anymore. It's like everyone's quick to do something radical and ridiculous. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, it doesn't.
ridiculous.
I think that something needs to be done about it to where these fans are either banned or suspended from going to any game. And I really don't care who doesn't like it. You should not be
Yep.
going to any stadium. You should be banned. You should be
Yep.
banned at least for so many games, depending upon the severity of your fight. Either you're going to be banned for 3 games, 5 games, the season, 10 years. I don't care,
Yeah, there
because
should be consequences for your actions. Absolutely.
exactly. So where you think you're going to be able to roll up into somewhere, they should have facial recognition or something to where you can sit out in the parking lot and do what you do. But I think it's just disrespectful for anyone to go up into any stadium and cause fights and scenes to distract other fans that are there to have a good time, distract their experience. Because we have to understand, a lot of
Absolutely.
times this may be their first game they've ever been to, and here you are fighting and disrupting everything, disrupting the players, and
Ruining their
you look
experience.
exactly. And how dare you? You ought to be
How dare you? What gives you the right to ruin someone else's experience because you can't handle yourself? It makes no sense.
Correct.
you
I
should be
absolutely agree with you.
they should be ashamed of themselves, because as adults we have to
Absolutely.
act as such and be responsible for our our actions. And I think there's just no place for it. And I've seen not only same team fighting same team, which is, what are you doing? You
Like
both lost
literally.
or you both won. I mean, I'm saying, or I've seen them fighting other people and stuff, and it's gotten to the point to where some people don't want to go to games because they're like, well, why should I pay all this money and then my experience gets ruined because someone wants to
Right.
be a jackie,
Right.
and that's what. And
Right.
I'm not talking about Jackie Oasis. I'm the Oasis. How you say that? I'm talking about a Jack A. And you
Right.
can put
For
some
Mhm.
sessions
sure.
on that for real.
For sure.
so
I understood the first time.
so let's talk about the international games. And Krista, we cannot see your beautiful face. It's like really
I don't
dark.
know why. I don't know why. And I have lights on and everything. I think it's something with my phone right now. I don't know why.
I don't know, but all I know is I'm gonna get messages like, "Why couldn't we see Christy?" I'm like, "Look, y'all hear me? Tell her."
You heard it. Like, cut it out.
I know. And I don't know why, because it was working first. I don't know. Maybe I have to go into a different like reception. But
I'm not sure, but everyone, let's be clear. I asked her a couple times now, Christy. We can,
right.
so we know we're on the same page. Let's talk about the international games. So now, have any of you ever been to an international game? And if not, where would you like to go to a game? Because Nicole, you've been in the group since numero uno, and you see me argue with people about there was going to be more international games, and everyone disputed. I'm like, okay, watch. Now look where we're at.
Right.
So, where would you like for international game to be if you had your choice of like a vacay destination spot? So we're going Nicole, Christy, and then Brandie.
A vacation destination spot,
Yeah, so
Jamaica.
no, international. So this is me. I want to see some. I wanted to, if I'm going to go international, I'm like an experience, because I'm like, I
Correct.
want to go to a game and I want to like
Hmm.
explore like the area. So
Yep.
me, I'm trying to do like some, little group things here. So where would you like to go? Would you feel like you want to see a game in Jamaica and then hang
Yep.
out? Okay, so your
Somewhere
pick
that's
is,
hot. Somewhere
so
that's
you have
nice.
so Jamaica. You want to see some palm trees. What about you, Christy?
Italy.
Italy? Now
Ooh.
look,
Hmm.
if they
Ooh.
do Italy, we're gonna plan that, and we're gonna be OUT, and we're just gonna be
Yes.
out. I said if I ever make it to Italy again, I probably won't return. So, because that's like my thing.
See,
What
I'm
about you?
Sicilian, so I would love to go there and watch
I
the
mean, I
game.
know, like, overseas they've got different places. I mean, there's only like certain countries that even play football
Hmm.
actually
Allow it, yes.
overseas.
Right.
And I'm
Yep.
thinking like Greece would be amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have friends and they live in Greece and they're always trying to get me to come visit. I'm like, look, let me get my schedule together and maybe my birthday's in January, so maybe I'll go then. But Greece would be excellent too because this
It would
like
be
is beautiful.
amazing because I mean you can get like a full view of everything, full real football that they play over there. They've got a whole league over there, and then
What
they're real big in the NBA too. Like it's just like a all. It'd be great, and it's just beautiful.
So
Yeah.
what the NFL is trying to do is they're trying to have this is I mean, Nicole, because I've done many posts about this. Like I haven't been able to, time wise, but what they're looking to do is have NF games, so they'll have teams travel to these destination spots at first. But what they've always had the goal of doing is having international leagues for the NFL. Because if you look at the NFL, it's so diverse. If you look at
Yep,
the NBA, it's so diverse. So it would be
yep,
really easy when you think about it to say, okay, we're going to do a spinoff to where, we're going to have a whole league in Italy or Africa is like a huge market they're trying to tap into. So that's what they're trying to do. And that's why you have like now he's like, people are finally starting to see like he made the announcement. We're looking to do more international games next year, which I feel like that. I mean, I'll do a post about it because that's like a whole other, we'll talk about that in the group. So then let's talk about your quarterbacks because we all pretty much, besides Kristi, she's smiling. We all pretty much
See, you can
may
see me
have
now.
some
You see?
we probably may have some issues with in the QB department. Do you see your quarterback returning? Which Cousins? I mean, we know. I mean, I mean, we don't even have a quarterback, so I don't know how to answer that. But do you see your quarterback returning? And we're gonna go Brandie, Nicole, and then Kristi.
absolutely, absolutely.
That's QB1.
If they manage to keep it together this season, there ain't no reason why he wouldn't come back.
Do you think he's
But
gonna come back as QB1?
that's gonna. I mean, again, that's gonna be all depending on like his performance throughout the rest of the season. I mean, look at the man's stats. He's still ranked number 3 in the league. It's ridiculous why we're not winning games, but it's crazy. But anyways, he's a phenomenal quarterback. He just got to get past his own mediocrity, and he can be great. You know what I mean? So we're breaking the cusp, and I hope we can shoot past it, and like he turns it around the rest of the season, and really, puts up what I believe he can do.
What about you, Nicole?
I think Alan will be here for a while.
Oh yeah,
Um, I don't think I'm not liking his style of play too much this year. I feel like they have trying to make him a pocket passer, and that's not really his strengths. But contract wise, there he's into them for quite a bit of money, so that's why I think he'll be around for a little while. But we'll see.
What about you, Kristi?
Of course, Lamar has to stay. He just got contracted and everything. I feel like
right.
Lamar is home. I feel like he was never going anywhere. So I guess I
Exactly.
could, right. I feel like he is really showing everyone, especially this Sunday, what he really is made of.
That was my thing with Lamar when everyone was talking about his contract, and that was my thing. I said, sometimes you have people that feel like they're in positions of power to try to take advantage of things because they feel like they're going to put someone in a rock and a hard place, between a rock and a hard place. But I think with Lamar, everything is designed around him, and he pretty much is the team because you have people traveling forever to see
Ooh.
him, and he's like that guy there. So I figure he wasn't going anywhere. As far
Baby,
as
bye.
Cousins,
Listen, Lamar looked like the first year Lamar. Baby, we got problems on our hands right now. If he keep that up,
Yep.
we everybody got
Yep.
problems on their
And
hands.
you know what? This is why I fought so hard because it's like, so for example, when we lost against the Steelers, everyone's like, "Oh, your quarterback, he can't catch the balls too. He can't catch them." You get what I mean? So I feel
Yeah.
like if Lamar can keep up what he showed on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna
Mm.
shut everyone up. And I've always said it about Lamar. He gets more motivation from losing and from people talking, and that's where his motivation came from.
that should
On
be any.
Sunday, on
What?
Sunday, he really showed because everyone's like, "Oh, the Lions." The Lions are supposedly one of the best teams.
Well, to me, I feel
Girl,
like the Lions are definitely one of the best teams. I don't know what happened. I mean, any look, that's why it's called any given Sunday. But as far as
right?
the Lions, like I've been telling everyone in the group for 2 years, the Lions about to put you guys on notice to where I'm telling you guys, a lot of people that
Man.
talk bad about the Lions, you're gonna be hiding. You're gonna be hiding in the closet
Mm.
talking about you never said this and you never said that, and I'm gonna pull up all the freaking receipts because you guys. No, I'm serious. And I'm a diehard Raiders fan, and I'm saying this. But some
Right?
people keep that little Dollar General receipt where it's like 3 or 4 lines. I'm pulling up CVS receipts where you said this, that, where you said this, that, and the
Oh, Lord help
well,
us.
you said this, that, and the other because I'm telling you, the line's about to put the NFL on
Yeah.
Hey
notice,
man, listen, I've
whether
been
they
saying
win the
that for the
Super
last
Bowl or
couple of
not.
years. I've been saying they coming, and here these fools
You,
are. Don't be
now,
Yep.
sleep. They got
now,
punched in the mouth though. They needed that. I'm
everybody, look,
sorry.
They did.
They got
everybody,
punched.
But
Lamar
you know
punched them
what?
in the
You
mouth.
know what? Eagle.
excuse me,
Not.
everyone be getting punched. Everyone get punched in the mouth here or
Everyone gets their
there.
lumps.
So
I'm
this
so
is
We
what
got
happy
our lumps.
Eagles.
Nicole.
I am so happy Eagles
Yes,
got
ma'am.
punched in the mouth by Jets. Oh my God. I'm so
We're going to
happy
talk
for them.
about
That was the
Kristi.
best
We're going to
punch.
talk about that a little bit later on. I want to get back to Nicole because she talked about her quarterback and she was like talking about his strengths because right now we're on the quarterbacks of the exist people that are now. I do you feel like that Josh is going to take you to the Super Bowl and win your Super Bowl, Nicole?
I don't want to put it all on him because that's when I think he really like gets in his head and really makes big mistakes. I think they if they want to get there, they're going to have to play, as the coach says, more complementary football. Right now,
Okay.
my team has no identity for me.
Okay. So,
It's very inconsistent, so I don't know.
so
Do
let me
he
ask
have
you.
the skill to do it? I think he does have the skill to do it.
That's what I'm asking.
It's
That's
more
what
or
I'm
less
asking.
about the what's around him and have they bought into the system. And our team is old. They one of those things that you hear about is team chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works in our favor because these guys have played together for so long. But I think it's like a relationship. They get tired of each other after a while, and it sometimes shows up on the field. So
Okay.
I
So,
don't
but
know
wait.
which team is going to show up for me each week. Like you said, any given Sunday.
But this is why I'm asking you because I'm asking about Josh specifically because as you know I've always for a couple years now been seeing Watch Diggs and Allen and stuff. What I'm asking specifically is about Josh because we know it's a team sport. I mean, if the QB1 is getting me the ball, I got to make catches. I got to be doing what I need to do. That's a given. But
Yep.
when it comes to the general that's on the field, that's going to be like, guys, put this on me, do this. We're going to rally that team to make them feel confident. Who's the leader? Is it the quarterback? Is it going to be Josh Allen or not? Because we know that Diggs is not happy. So can Josh rally these guys to that next level, or is he gonna fall apart? When I look at like the Cousins, I mean, because we're talking about the Vikings, I mean, we know that Cousins, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's heard it all season, but last night it was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna keep working. I
Yep.
may win or lose, but every single week you cannot tell me I'm not working. If it's something to do, I'll do it better. Whatever. Lamar, we heard about Lamar. Oh, he's a running back. How many times we heard about Lamar as a running back? I mean, but he puts it on himself and he pushes through. So that's what I was asking about Josh. So we talked about the quarterbacks. Now let's talk about the head coach because we're talking about everyone needs to do their part. So we know that a lot of success can be dependent upon the head coach, the players, or the OC or DC, the head coach. How do you feel about the head coach right now? Do you feel like that he's complimentary to the team, or do you feel like there's a disconnect between the head coach and what happens on the field? So this we're gonna go Kristi, Brandie, Nicole.
So I love John Harbaugh. I feel that John Harbaugh really gives it to the players. Like you could see him on the field sometimes. He'll say, Lamar, what do you want to do? And I love that. He does not take who he is into play. Sometimes he calls some dumb plays, and I'm like, what the hell? But I think John and Lamar have one of the best bonds and duos that a team and a coach and a quarterback can have. And as our OC, we just got a new OC, Todd Monken. I couldn't stand Greg Roman, but I do see a difference with our team with Todd. So I do like both. And I think John is just gonna, if John could get Lamar to the Super Bowl, I think that's like John's goal right now.
Okay. What about you, Brandie?
I mean, Kevin O'Connell, he's doing the dang on thing. Honestly, he re-imaged Kurt for the team to make the team want to play for him.
Right.
I don't know if y'all seen it, but what I saw last night was my O-line, as small as they were looking compared to the other ones, protect him and give him a moment or two to be able to launch those rockets down the field. And Kevin O'Connell was making the calls to complement the team that was on the field. And that was just breathtaking because the past few games, I don't know why you calling the plays on the field for who's out there because it wasn't working. You need to figure it out. You know what I mean? So I think he's done some reassessing and he's done a lot. He's made a lot of changes within our organization as a whole because them kept Kurt kind of isolated from the team as to where Kevin's like, oh no, we are family. We're going to all bring it in and we're all going to learn from each other and we're going to figure each other out. So I think that is just a breath of fresh air within any organization, especially football, developing that camaraderie and getting them to trust and work for each other. You know what I mean? And the coach definitely encourages that.
What about you, Nicole?
I'm not liking my coach this year.
Oh no.
So there's no problem.
Tell us how
Because,
you really feel.
well, I'm kind of like, I respect his demeanor. And I think you have to like accept people. They show you who they are. You have to accept who they are. He's never going to be that rah-rah guy. He's never going to show a whole lot of emotion. He's very stoic. And I think that's just who he is. I had my concerns this year when they decided to not have a defensive coordinator. And then this is our second year with our OC. And our coach decided that he's going to call defensive plays as well. Now, for majority of the season, the defense has been playing lights out. We have injuries. But at some point, do I feel like it's too much for him where he says, I'm not micromanaging what my coordinators do. But as a head coach, I feel like you got to do that a little bit. Like, I'm not saying micromanage, but you got to, if there's an issue, you got to have the go-nas to speak up about the issue.
Right.
If there's team meetings all the time and sitting down and going over the game plan and stuff like that. Those are the things I feel like that all falls on the head coach. One of the biggest problems and one of the biggest complaints I have about him is not being able to finish games, not being able to rally the troops, using your timeouts appropriately and saying, hey, okay, we've been here before. We struggled at this point in the game. Let me gather you guys up and give you some kind of oomph. And that's where I feel like he's missing and not using all of the talent that is on the field because there are talented players and I feel like they're underutilized. And I feel like that falls solely on the coach.
Yeah, he's not inspiring the guys. Now, to me personally, as a Raiders fan, I have no comment on this because we don't really have a head coach. And like I tell everybody, we don't. You know me, I'm going to tell it how it is. Like I told everyone, they're like, oh, give him 3 games. I'm like, no. He should never have been allowed in the building. You heard it here first. You've always heard it here first when I say he should never have been allowed in the building. We don't have a head coach this year. What we have
Did you
is
see the petition?
We have someone's father who couldn't coach his kids' team and decided to come and coach the Raiders. That's what we have right now. And that's just as real. And the reason why I'm saying like this, because it is so absolutely disrespectful to our players. And how dare anyone put him in that position to where you're wasting these guys' talent? There's no way Adams should not be getting 2K yards. There's no way JJ should not be running 1,500 yards. What happened to Third and Renfro? We don't even use him. So
like, what's going on?
Yeah, how dare anyone like that come up in the building? So do we have a head coach this year? No, we don't. And I'll tell him to his face, just like I tell him on those Facebook posts. Matter of fact, message me. I'll give you my phone number so you can give me a call. I'm going to tell you the same thing.
Hey,
We don't have a head
There's
coach
a
this year.
petition out there
Now,
it was hashtag fire. Is it Josh McDaniel? Is that his
yeah,
name?
McDumb thing is trending.
McDumb.
Now look, now this is McDumb ASS is trending right
So
now. It's like
McDumb.
the second
Get it.
hashtag. Now this is me. I'm not, I don't like to see people fired. I don't need that bad karma in my life. I'm all about pleasant karma and stuff like this. But what I'm saying is this. I'm okay if he doesn't coach the Raiders. I'm not saying he needs to be fired, but I am okay if he takes several large steps away from the team and do something different.
Yes,
Please and thank you is what I'm saying, because you're doing
absolutely.
too much, too much, too much. So, with I mean, it is what it is. Now, as far as the season is going, as far as your standings and where you're at right now, because we're, again with this guy, for me, you know what I'm saying? How are you?
Look at her.
How are you feeling about this season so far? Look, Kristi
give
got her
me a high five.
little.
Look at her.
High five.
See. God don't like ugly. That's why you blinked out a little bit, because
Uh-huh. See?
I was just saying, give me a high five. What was ugly about that?
Yeah.
Mm.
So
I
look,
take that 4-3 right now.
okay. So Kristi's ecstatic about the team. How are you feeling, Brandie?
Whew, we got some work to do, boss. One thing about it, though, we have not lost any division games, and our division has lost other games, so that does us a favor, unfortunately. But that is like the Vikings story. I don't know if y'all know, but it's like, we get so close, but we have to depend on something else to happen in order for us to keep going.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just crazy.
not closing
I
out
mean,
games.
it's rough, but I believe we can pull it out. If we can keep that same momentum and keep, like, you know what I mean, on it, then yeah, I think we can finish out the season pretty damn tough. And, like, you know what I mean, maybe smack some people up and shut them up and not choke when it really matters. You know what I mean? That's the story of our lives, get it right there. And it's so close, but you can't catch it. Like,
You almost had it.
like, you know what I mean? Oh, you got to be quicker. The dude with the dollar bill on the fishing pole.
Yes. What about you, Nicole?
I'm okay where we are for right now. I wasn't happy with the losses, and it's been kind of up and down. I'm not happy with the divisional losses. I think those tend to come back and haunt you, but I think if we can split in our division, I would be okay with that. The good thing is that a lot of our divisional games will be home going forward. Strength of schedule is always a factor, but I'm not a fan of writing teams off super early. Like
Mhm.
like Brandie is talking about the Vikings. Any team can turn it around. I think when you get at this point of the season, I don't
Yes.
feel like it's a true juggernaut this year. I think there's going to
Right.
be a lot of surprises this year,
Right.
but I'm okay with where my team is. I think it's not necessarily a bad problem to have something to work on to
Mhm.
improve. Like if I can take some hiccups in the beginning and if you can catch fire towards the end, I think you increase your chances to go, further in the postseason.
Yes.
But I'm okay with the 4-3. We got to turn them divisional losses around. But I'm good with where we are right now and where we stand. But we have a tough division at AFC.
What about you,
Yeah, boy.
What about you, Kristi?
Oh, I think we're just getting better and better every week. I think that if we can keep the no injuries, because my team is known for the injuries. So let me not just act like we're 5-2, but we go through it too. So I think if we could protect Lamar, have no injuries, and stay focused, because we usually do great up until playoffs, and then here comes playoff one round, and we do dumb things. So I think that
Story of my life.
we if we like last year we got to it without Lamar. We had Tyler Huntley and he acted like Simba and the Lion King with the ball against the Bengals. And then here comes the guy who took Simba and ran all the way down the field with Simba, and now we lost. So I do think that if we keep the no injuries and we keep focused, I think that we can really, do great. We so normally we do have a tough, division. We're Bengals, we're Browns, and we're Steelers. I feel like Bengals haven't been showing that good of a season, so I feel like we are the strongest one right now.
I don't know. Them Browns might surprise you guys because
Man.
I
Hello.
feel like them. Guess what?
Hello.
No, we
Don't be
wouldn't.
under
We
Yes.
wouldn't.
don't underestimate the Browns because the Browns is like the Lions
That
to where they're gonna
defense.
sneak up
They
and be like,
coming.
hey, once that stuff start clicking, the Browns gonna be like, you know what? We tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to listen, and there we
Yep.
go. So the Browns is
That
the one to watch
defense is
their
the
division.
truth.
They
Yeah,
coming.
and then like for us, I mean, again, no words. I mean, because our whatever you want to call him, the Pop Warner football guy,
Oh
he
my
lost our
god.
high school coach. And instead of in the offseason working on your playbook, you came back with the same Patriot way and tried to pit it with talent that's not at the Raiders. And then you had to bring in all your ex players from the Patriots because you didn't know how to design a play to make yourself look good, and you're looking ridiculous. Stop it.
Hmm.
Stop it. You know situation awareness. I mean, what it takes longer to get down to make a touchdown. So kick a touchdown, go for a touchdown. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But then you come back and you have shorter to go for a field goal. But we went for a field goal like, oh, we have 1 second left. We're going to get it all the way down the field for a touchdown. I mean, that's the mentality we're dealing with. So to me, I'd just be drinking because I can't.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, it is
I
what it
mean, because
is.
I just be like, good thing I don't play a drinking game to drink a drink every issue or something that was done incorrectly, because I would not even be getting up the next day because it would be
Oh,
too much.
baby
This is
bye.
like doing too much.
It's
It's too much.
frustrating.
No, it's not frustrating. It's ridiculous. I don't get frustrated with it. What it does for me, if there's any frustration there, is not for me personally. It's never for me personally. It's for our guys, because I know they can't speak up on this stuff because, like Carr, he's in the Saints now because he said something. So if there's
Right.
any frustration, it's for our guys, because I think it's the highest disrespect to be out there doing that with someone else's life.
Yeah.
That's what burns me up the most. And that's with any team across the board, not just mine, but with any team. You guys see me comment. I don't like to see that. You know very well you can't put 2 + 2 together and get 4. You're out here with 22 out here like you can coach. You can't stop it. Someone needs to monitor this. I'm about to call it what's his name tomorrow and be like, look, let's talk about these coaches because you gotta do better. Do better. Because I just can't. Let's talk about your projections. Where do you see your team finishing up in your division? Do you see yourself in the basement, or do you see yourself in the penthouse? Mid-level where? We're going to go Kristi, Nicole, and then Brandie.
Well, I don't want to jinx it, but I see us up there, up there. I see us, like I said, if we could stay focused and not injured, I see us really going far this year.
So you don't want to say the penthouse suite.
I don't want to say the penthouse.
So what you're saying is you guys are going to have a nice view.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a
Okay.
great view.
What about you, Nicole?
I think we have the potential. I can't even, like she said, don't jinx it. If I could say, oh, for certain, I know which team is going to show up each week, I would like to say playoffs. But I am recognizing that the AFC is super tight, and as the season goes, people get better, and you never know who's going to catch fire. I do think we are a playoff caliber team. I can anticipate losing about 5 or 6 games. We've already lost 3 games this year, and that was the most we lost last year.
So
So
you feel like you guys are going to be out here just balling out then and only drop 2 games.
I'm hoping. I'm looking at the strength of
Okay, okay,
schedule,
okay.
but we got some tough competitors. But like I said earlier, I don't feel like it's a true juggernaut, especially looking at the strength of schedule and caliber of opponents. So some of these front runner teams that you was like, oh, they gonna be this, they gonna be that. Like San Francisco, you couldn't have told me they was gonna drop 2 games. So any
Oops.
given Sunday. And I stayed up a little bit last night to watch. I didn't stay all the way. I think I watched to like the third quarter. And it kind of felt like this game could go either way because San Fran is one of those, they could turn it on and turn it off. And I was like, oh, they had a loss. They're going to bounce back hard. And then the
Yeah,
Vikings, they
they
had
bounced
something to
back. They
prove last
bounced
night.
back. They bounced back hard, all right, up in the L column. But go ahead.
Correct. But I think the Vikings were hungrier and I know I'm off question,
Baby,
but they were hungrier
starving.
and they were trying to avoid that 0-4 start. So they had something to prove last night. And it's a hard way to match up with a team that's at home and got something to prove in prime time. And you got a team that's a little bit banged up too. But like we say
And
all
we
the
got
time, any
one. What you
given
talking about? Now
Sunday.
we got two.
Yeah,
Cut
but
it
see,
out.
to me, I'm like this. I'm like this. I don't care who banged up, who in the game, but you took a freaking L. You got an L. There's no
Yep.
asterisk at the end of the day saying,
Yep.
"Oh, you're such a such." Who cares? Because you ran your mouth all the time coming up to this game,
Man,
like y'all
thought it
gonna
was
do this,
sweet.
and then you got the L in the L column. But my Raiders lose, we lost. Now
Yep.
I can
My Bills
say
lost.
I can say we lost for these reasons, but at the end of the day, there's no asterisk at the end of that.
Nope.
Now, this is the thing. As far as the 49ers go, that team is stacked. So it should have been just like they should have learned in the Super Bowl with all those QBs and whatnot. You should have learned to develop your players. So that way, if Debo goes, hey, you took an L. You
Yep.
lost. And the reason why I said it like that is because I feel like it doesn't take away from the great game the Vikings put together because you're talking about quarterbacks earlier. Either the players want to play for that quarterback or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And either he's rallying them like, guys, I'm out here getting binged up. Hey, I'm gonna get hit, whatever, but we got to do this. Let's pull together. Or they don't want to be playing for him. That's just the way it is.
It's
What
real.
about what about you, Brandie? Where do you see you guys?
I mean, honestly, if we had that same spark and we we gonna grace past that executive presidential suite on the way to the penthouse. Like I said, I'm gonna put it in the universe. I hope to God we make it past the first round of the playoffs because that's always been our Achilles. Damn, we always get so close. But
Same.
I'm just saying, man, it's brutal. And then last year, Lord, that was a horrible season. But you got to take the lumps. Like I said, lumps come with it. It wasn't a horrible season. Kevin did it. We did it but again, the games we lost this season by one score. It wasn't that we just couldn't punch it in for some reason. I don't know. But I believe last night was an indicator, and I hope to God that we see that throughout the rest of the season and even improve on that even more. I know they can do it. So I got faith. We gonna hit past that executive suite. We gonna stick past the presidential, and hopefully we grace that penthouse.
No, so to me, I don't even know. But getting back to you guys, it's like that's the thing. Because a lot of people I get that you lost by one, but imagine if it's that one score, like a field goal or touchdown, then you're
Yeah.
right there. It's just something small that needs to click to get you over the edge. Now, us,
Yep.
not so much. Because I don't know what we're doing out there. You have besides Jefferson, I feel like him and Adams are in Hill. I mean, they're like these elite guys. They're like, man, these are like generational talent. And our
Right.
guy, well, he's not my guy because I'm not claiming that. I'm not claiming him as any particular part of me, but I'm saying the guy that considers himself the head coach, you forget he's on the field. So
Man.
that's where I'm at right now as far as projections. I'm okay if he takes a long vacation. Not our team, but the guy that's called himself the head coach. I'm okay if he takes an extended vacation and maybe try some, tap into his other talents, if any, because I'm just done. I was done a while ago, so that's just me. So, but I digress. Let's talk about
How do you really feel, Pris?
I'm all, like I said, it just bothers me, as you could tell, it bothers me that our
Yeah.
guys are being subjected to this because you're talking like a playoff team. Yeah, I've
Well,
been
you
a
got a
Raiders
hitter
fan.
squad. Like that's legit. You got
Yeah,
some. There's some talent. There's some hitters on your squad. I don't know
yeah.
why they're not hitting. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, I've been a fan. I've been a Raiders fan forever. I've seen every single Super Bowl. I've
Right.
seen us win every single Super Bowl. So I was there from way back when it used to be like, we're going to punch you in the face, literally on the field, till now. I've seen us go through all these different phases of football. I've seen it all. So when we made the playoffs, well, Carr was like, he's like my guy because I feel like he was like the quarterback that personified what the Raiders was about. And it hurt me when he got hurt. And then we should have ran it back, of course, with the exact same thing. We didn't. So then it's like Carr. Okay, meanwhile, we've gotten rid of every single offensive weapon he had.
Right.
Renfro was developed from the ground up, so that developed. We didn't give him O line, we didn't give him defense, and everybody's talking Carr. Okay, what is the coach doing? Why aren't you developing these guys? Why aren't you developing Abrams? Because you want defense, a little mini lot, and you're not developing him to where he can give hits and stuff and not get hurt. And it's like when we made the playoffs, I'm gonna tell you, I literally did not sleep that night. I was up that night screaming on Facebook and doing all this crazy stuff like I usually do, but 100 times worse, And then that week, I'm like, yes, yes. And then we go out on Whistlegate with the Bengals. So I'm like, okay, cool. We did, refs, whatever. Hey, I was happy for the Bengals, but at the same time, it was a Whistlegate.
Yeah.
And then the next year, it's like all this and that. And now I look at the team, pretty much the same guys we supposedly improve, and we look like we never played a day in our lives. You got Adams coming over to he wants to be a Raider, and you don't even use this guy. And you're using people because they know the Patriots playbook. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely tell it like it is because I don't think these guys can say anything, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. If I see any of them to their face, I'm not going to be disrespectful. But at the same time, I'm going to ask you what you're doing. And
Right.
you have no business being on that field with any type of coaching gear on because you don't even know what plays are you running. That's the conversation I want to have. Like, how do you come up with these plays, and why you still have the same playbook that you designed for someone's kid way back in the 70s?
Right.
Those plays are obsolete. I mean, so I could go on and on, but like, I'm gonna do a show about it because obviously I got some stuff I need to get off my chest.
Well, we don't always love our teams the way we should. So
Look.
we are entitled to our opinions,
Yes.
absolutely, and state those facts and get it off your chest. It's okay. It's all
Yes.
right.
I do need to do a show about it because it's like, maybe I'll post it to next time I comment. I'll do a link comment to the Raiders page or something. I don't know. Let's talk about, as a female fan, what are some pet peeves that you don't like? And then this is at the game or just in general. So we're going to go Kristi, Brandie, Nicole.
So one pet peeve of mine is you're a female, you don't know about football. That's one because I probably can school a lot of guys on football. Two, a pet peeve of mine is when they think you just like a player. Oh, you just think he's hot. That's why you're a fan. Or, oh, you just think, or what do you know about him? So that's my biggest pet peeve because, like I said, I study football, I watch football. And another pet peeve is females who all of a sudden are just fans of football all of a sudden. Huh?
Okay. So those are
And
your
that's it for
two.
me. Yeah.
Okay, what about, I said Brandie, right? Then Nicole.
I think you said Nicole, but that's fine.
I'm sorry.
No,
Whichever
you're
one was
good.
that.
You are good. No. Any pet peeves? My girl, listen, I don't let none of them broads and none of them bug me. I'm not
He
I'm
said
not there for
broad.
them. I'm not. I'm not there for them. You can come in there, act a fool, dress how you want to dress. Be you, boo, be you. You like it, I love it. I'm good. I'm there to watch a game. I'm gonna jump up, I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna shout, and it is what it is. I'm there to
So
have a good time, watch my team, see what I can see, and that's that. I'm not letting them people sweat me. I know when to get up and run down the restroom before the line get too long. I got it made that way. The people that sit around me, I mean, I'm a season ticket holder, so there's season ticket holders around me too, and they've been season ticket holders with me since the beginning of the stadium.
So,
So,
but what about people that don't, the people that are not the gangs, the people that don't know you?
um, just being dumb. Just don't act dumb. You just don't have to be dumb. It takes no effort to just close your mouth. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. You ain't got to be dumb. You ain't got to be rude. Everybody in a hurry to get to the same place. Calm down. You know, like I just don't have any time for people's stupidity. And you get one if you in a bunch when you have thousands of people around you. You can see it from afar, and then I like to keep it afar. But other than that, yeah, I don't let it
Good.
bug me. I don't let people bother me. Everyone's there to have a good time. How you celebrate is how you celebrate. As long as it's not disrespectful or hurting nobody around us, have a good time. Do you, boo? You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge,
What
but I
about
will
you?
judge, some of your outfits sometimes in secrecy. Not really secrecy, I'll tell you. I'll
What
tell
about
you.
you, Nicole? What about you?
Probably the same as Kristi. Like, you're a woman, you don't really know football. You don't watch football for the same reasons as a guy watching football. I would like to see more women on the sidelines or in different positions in football. So I don't know if that's necessarily a pet peeve or just a wish.
Yes, it is a pet peeve because they should
Okay.
have more women. No, you know why? Because I say it all the time. They should be having a little ESPN, NFL Network, and Peacock and all this different stuff. You have these
Hmm.
guys out there like they're flexing, like they're dapper gents and whatnot. Have some females up on there too. Because half
Yep.
those guys, you look at the prediction, they all predicted San Fran the other night, and look what
Suckers.
happened. They lost. So females
Yep.
can be up on there too. But go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, that I would say that was probably one of my
But
pet
go ahead.
peeves. But just, because like they'll highlight the teams that have women in coaching positions.
Hmm.
And I feel like your gender shouldn't determine your ability to coach.
Absolutely.
No, it shouldn't.
So I mean, like I went back and watched the movie Wildcats, and I might be a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
older,
Goldie Hawn.
but to watch,
Look.
yes, yes, and all of the stuff that they were saying to her, like I'm sitting there, like that's probably how men truly feel about women in football. It wouldn't fly in this day and age. But the stuff that they said to her, I was like, oh my God. And as a kid, we thought that was super hilarious. But it's not gonna fly now. But
No.
I
Well, we're
do
coming out
feel
of a
like
misogynistic era, you know what I mean? Where it was
correct.
a
So it's not gonna
men
fly
dominated
now,
thing.
but I
So,
definitely would love to see a female head coach. I would love to
Definitely.
mhm,
see female in the front office ownership. Like Buffalo, we had the husband and wife team that were owners. She got quite ill, so she had to step down from her duties. But I would like to see more of that because I think women have something to offer in that
absolutely.
arena. So that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. But I will say I do watch certain players for their hotness.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right there. I'm gonna tell
Cannot
you
tell
right
a lie.
now. I don't really care if they like it or not. Yeah, I'm gonna watch these. Just like when these you be watching the cheerleaders. So stop it.
Like literally.
I'm gonna watch the guys. Yes, I watch them because I think he's
uh,
hot or because I think he's cute or whatever. But that doesn't mean I don't understand the game. You're sitting
right.
Correct.
here, with your little cheerleaders. You probably got some little cheerleader posters up on you in your little game room and whatnot. So I'm gonna have players. What's the difference? We have eyes we can see. So stop, being stereotypical, like, oh, well, you do. This is how this is when you say stuff like this. This is how I think you sound. Well, you're just watching it because of the guys. That's how you. I feel like you're talking to me. Stop it.
No, I feel like why are you wasting the air? Like stop. It wasn't even a necessary comment. Shut up.
I'm gonna tell you my pet. I think my biggest pet peeve is the fact, which Nicole, I know Brandon, you see me. To me, it's this. You're going to see me commenting on the Sports Center, the NFL, the NFL memes. You're going to see me commenting on specific topics. If I have time when I can actually follow the comments and respond to them, you're going to see me commenting on those. The biggest thing I do not like as a female fan is that for some reason, some guy want to come up there with his chest all puffed up.
Oh
Like,
God, yes.
oh, this is how, I'm imitating you. Oh, Well, what they mean is when you do this. I know what they
Mm-mm.
mean, but you don't understand what I'm talking about. And if you're going to come at me like that, we're not even going to have a regular conversation. And as you can see, after I said what I said, you have 30 people saying similar or the exact same thing. If you're not going to go and reply to them with your chest off, puffed up, and things like that, coming at them all hard because they're not females, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a virtual pin and poke you in the chest, and all your air gonna inflate this come out of your chest, and you're gonna walk
Right.
around with the bird chest for the rest of the day. Don't come at me with the nonsense because I don't be bothering you. Don't be bothering me. Nicole, you saw it the other day when someone went, oh, I'm a 49ers fan forever, and I never didn't know that he said that.
Well, his thing, remember
What?
what he said was, what did he say? And you said, that's on you. I was like,
Yeah, it's
yes.
literally, it's literally on that guy because you said, now correct me if I'm wrong, you did say that you have been a 49ers fan all your life. But then you
Right.
want me, someone who's not a 49ers fan, to explain to you what the guy said. Now,
Yep.
had you asked me correctly the first time, I would have responded correctly when you asked me. But since you did not, I gave you back what you gave to me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I did my research. I was like, oh, didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
I'm
now
not a
I
fan.
know.
I'm not a fan of either one of those brothers, but that's a whole other topic. I'm not a
Hmm.
fan of either one of those. But that's my pet peeve with that. And then if I'm walking out in the real world, and I have my Raiders gear because I do my own apparel and different things. If you see me walking with Raiders gear, whether it's mine, whether it's from the NFL or whatever, and you see me walking with Raiders gear, stop asking me, "Oh, you like the Raiders?"
Oh my God, that is the dumbest question every time. Oh, oh, I feel you on that one.
Stop asking people. I mean, no, I just, what else can I say to that? I don't even respond. I just look at you like I can't even understand what you're saying at this point.
How about it's in July and you got Vikings gear on? Oh, is there a game today? How dumb are you? Smack yourself.
Yeah, you know me.
You know
Yeah,
what's so
it
funny
comes
that
on.
you said that?
Oh my
I'll be
gosh.
like, yes, it comes on at 7 o'clock on Channel 7.
Right. That's what I do. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know? Come on at 1 o'clock today. You're not gonna watch them? Mind you,
I'd be
it's
like, oh, you
already
missed the
like
memo?
it's in May, Memorial Day weekend. I have a Ravens like a t-shirt on. Do they play today? Oh yeah, we already played this morning. You missed it?
Or
Oh my
better
word, it's so
yet, better yet,
ridiculous.
better yet. Yeah, the game is they're having a free game at the stadium. Just show up at 7 o'clock and you can
Okay,
get in.
Right,
right.
right.
I mean, because that's literally that's the level of question you're answering me. So you're answering me a question that's ridiculous. I'm gonna respond with the ridiculous answer.
Right. So this isn't
Mm.
really a pet peeve as a female, just in general. I'm on a lot of podcasts. I'm on a lot of sports pages. What I don't like is when people laugh at someone's injury. Being like a
Yeah, that's rude.
diehard fan,
You're fading out.
I think it was your quarterback, Jimmy. When he got hurt, people were laughing like, ha ha. Like, to me, even at the Aaron Rodgers thing, I'm not a Jets fan from a hole in the wall. Like, it's sad though, because if it's legit like injuries, it's really sad. Like, as a fan, I know if God forbid, I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to put it in the universe. If he got hurt,
Just any
I know
player,
how much
yeah.
that would affect me. Right, any player. Like, look at the first game, we lost our running back, J.K. Dobbins, after already not having him. So that, like, and I was at the game and I saw the injury, and I'm like, oh, he's definitely hurt for good. Like, I literally saw the injury happen.
So
So
let me ask you something. Go ahead.
as a fan, not female, male, whatever, I don't like the whole thing. I don't like the whole thing.
So do you guys? So is there anything we haven't discussed tonight that you want to ask, like for the other guests? We'll go Nicole, Brandie, then Kristi.
I don't think so. I think you hit a lot of good topics and right on the agenda. We didn't talk about refs though.
Yeah, the refs. So what do you want to talk about the refs for? These guys. Now wait before you get started.
I want
No,
you to run it.
before you get started, you cannot say anything about Cleet Blake because Cleet the hot ref because that's my guy. Now I will watch a whole entire game if he's refing the game. Now I get Miss Mary,
Now listen, you
Miss
took it
Miss
to a whole
wait,
nother level because I
Miss
don't know
Miss
too many of their
Miss
names.
Miss Lady,
Mm.
your wife or whatnot. I don't want him like that. I'm not interested in him like that. I'm just saying, hey, if I'm gonna be looking at something in the game, hey, thank you very much. Now that's the one I posted a picture of at the Jets game. I have a photo with him.
Okay, I gotta
Yeah.
look back because he's not ringing a bell for me.
Well, look, once he rang that bell gonna stay
Look.
rung. That bell gonna stay rung. That bell gonna stay
But
rung.
I
Oh.
will bring
Let's
since I
talk.
brought
Let's
up
talk.
the refs.
Let's,
That was I think that was one thing that we didn't talk about
okay,
today.
so the
And I
refs
don't know
now.
if it's just this year, but it just seems like there's been a lot of
Hmm.
very questionable game deciding
Vegas is
calls.
paying
So
them
let
because
me ask you
Vegas is
this.
paying
Let me
them.
wait. Let me preface it like this. The way the refs work is this. Each game, like at the end of the week, they have a meeting once a week, which Nicole, I think you were in the last show with us. Each week they have a meeting and they're graded on how well they did. They missed calls. If they didn't call something they should have called, basically. If they called something they should have, they're graded on that. So as their score gets lower, the only thing from my understanding, besides a fine, if they've ever been fined, which I've never, I can't even discuss that if they have. The only thing that truly only happens to them is when it comes to playoffs, if their score is really low, they don't get to participate or ref playoff games and certainly not the Super Bowl. Right now,
That's
that's
correct.
currently the only thing that's happening to them. It's not like they're going to be fined because they're missing these calls. They just basically ref the same number of games they've always ref throughout the season, still get their pay. But when it comes to the playoffs in the elite games, they don't get to participate. So
Okay.
my question is, should they be disciplined more early, like after each game? Should it be a stiffer penalty early in the season so they don't go a whole season with all these penalties that they did call or shouldn't have called and so forth? So now we're going to get back to Nicole.
I think there needs to be some type of repercussions. So I noticed that they have like some old referees that are like the experts. So when they have these calls that are under review, they usually get their opinions and what they think and how it should go. I like that part of it because I think I learned to like what to look for. But I just feel like they make very crucial decisions at very crucial times. We've all seen it, we've all witnessed it. I don't know if it's just more publicized now because, back in the day, you had so many games that was blacked out. And now depending on what streaming device or whatever you have, you can watch all of the games and pick apart all of the games.
Right.
So I don't know. It just seems like this year the cause, and it's not even like for or against any particular team. It just seems
Well,
like across the board that we know that there's some favorites.
yeah,
Mm.
there's some favorites, so we
There's
can't
some
say that it's
favorites,
not.
but
Yes,
it just
But
seems
ma'am.
like
my
across the
question,
board it's been poor
Across the board.
officiating.
but my
It doesn't
question,
even matter.
is, should there be stiffer disciplines through early in the
Absolutely.
season? Because and there have been some clear favorites, and I'm going to stick to that because there's some clear favorites to where I could actually literally post where you have a defensive player running full steam, like he hitting 25 miles per hour, running to make a tackle. And then before he makes the tackle, he runs out of bounds. He's not hit out of bounds. He's just not making the tackle. So there's some stuff going on there's some questionable stuff going on, and then there's some penalties. I mean, Max Crosby gets held pretty much every play. So there's some clear favorites in there. So Your answer is yes, there should be penalties. Do you feel like there should be stiffer penalties, Brandy?
Absolutely. I think it's kind of ridiculous that, you go back and you can watch a game back and be like, oh my God, look at that. He's standing right there. Why wasn't that called? Or case in point, a couple weeks back, you have a player take his helmet off on the field. You
Yes,
tell him to put it
me.
back on so you can win the game. What is
Yes,
wrong?
me.
Like, no, that
I'm
is a penalty.
I'm calling it out. And I think the difference is, if because sometimes I get, now we're all human. We're not saying the ref has to be eagle eye, but if you're like, we've had players like held right there, like in like 7-8 seconds, this clear
Right.
holding in front of the ref that was not called. Those are the plays I'm talking about. I'm not talking about where he needs to be eagle eye and see everything, because we're human. We're gonna miss stuff.
No,
But if
I
you
get
have a
that. But
if you,
when a player's coming up to you and take his helmet off
yeah,
on the field, that
that's
is a penalty.
but that's a clear call. That's a clear call.
That is a clear call. And there was not one.
I'm
He
talking
told him to
about
put his
the
helmet back on.
I'm talking about the ones to where if the back is turned and the ref may or may not see it. He's in
Oh,
his
that's
face. He's gonna
different.
see. And then we have to look at where, if you have a commentator that's basically watching it on the television just like us, and they're saying, well, we feel like it's going to be this because you can see it here, and then the
Right.
ref doesn't call that, or the ref changed it, do better, because if the commentator, and even they're like, well, I don't know. And then the reason why I say it needs to be stiffer penalties, because you have these commentators that now they're starting not to want to say anything, because they don't know how the ref is going to call it. And then
Yeah.
they know they have the viewers like us, like, wait a minute, you just said, and
Right.
we're
Hmm.
catching that and we're questioning it. So now we have commentators who are paid to talk about the game and give us the stats that are not giving us that game experience. So that's why stiffer penalties need to happen, because at the end of the day, it's ruining the game on the field for the players, but then it's also ruined the experience for us. And
Right.
we're paying to
Yep.
watch the game. So I definitely do agree that needs to be that. Now, what would be your message? Because we're going to wrap up here a little bit. I think we lost Kristi. If you had to give a message for either for your fan base, give a message. If you have a message for your fan base, and then you can also give a message out for the rest of the NFL, what would it be? We're going to go Nicole, then Brandie.
To my Buffalo Bills fan base, I just tell them buckle up. It's going to be a roller coaster ride this year. We cannot take any teams lightly. Everybody is bringing their A game. So even though the stats will say and all of the pundits will say, "Oh, you should definitely win," there is no gimmies in this league.
Hmm.
None. So any given Sunday is probably the theme of my football team's season this year. Just any given Sunday. Just buckle in and enjoy it.
Now,
Remember it's fun.
what about the rest of the NFL? Do you have a message for them?
Um, I just think the NFL, I like the direction that some of the teams are going in. I like the situational awareness, the public awareness, giving back to the fans and making sure that people have a very good experience. The idea of having players accessible and being in the community, I think that goes, it reaches so very far. So I think the league is in good hands, and I like to see the future of the league, how it's going to go. I enjoy the game.
Good. What about you, Brandy?
Oh, from my Viking fans, baby, let's go and let's just cheer our way to the bowl. Let's go. Let's have faith, hope, and stick with the team. The fair weather fans, you know how they are. They're gonna come and go. That's fine. We'll love you while you're here. We'll see you when you get back. It's fine. Um, you know, but um, just exercise grace and love what we do. Love our team, and let's just pray for no injuries. Pray JJ comes back, and he's himself again once he does come back. And fans stick together, pray it out, and let's just have hope and faith in our team, and let them boys get their heads together. Let's keep it together and let's roll.
And
As
what
far
about
as
the
the
rest of
NFL goes, the rest of the league, man, people just take a step back, exercise some grace, have a little common sense and courtesy for one another. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we are all fans of football. We love this sport. It's not just the individual players. We love the players of our teams, true enough, but we love the sport of football. The players are a bonus. You know what I mean? So people just need to step back, enjoy the game, exercise grace, use respect and common sense when you out here in the streets. You know.
Exactly. Now, my message for the Raiders, the Raider Nation, we rep 20. I mean, we rep 24/7, 365, 366 for this leap year. Just keep doing us. I believe his name. Oh, I knew I was gonna mess up. The guy that's in Vegas holding the sign up to Mark Davis. You are the real MVP. I applaud you, because someone needs to let him know in the most respectful way possible that homeboy, he ain't it. He ain't it. He ain't it. I mean, hey, I can probably find him like a rec league or something like that, but he ain't it for our guys. It's enough
Sign the
already.
petition. Sign the
Yeah,
petition.
Look.
yeah. I'm not gonna sign the position because I don't like to sign stuff to where I'm asking for someone to lose their job. I'm not that person. At the same time, you are not a good fit for the Raiders. You might be a good fit somewhere else as a head coach. That I would say absolutely freaking not. Water boy, a water boy, yes.
Water
OC,
boy.
OC, something like that, yes, but definitely not a head coach. You got to grow into the position. You're not there yet, but I wish you the best. I wish you the best. Raider Nation, keep doing you. The rest of the NFL, what I would advise people to do if they don't already do this, go to a game that's not your team.
Yep.
Go to a game that's not your team. Have some fun. Introduce yourself. Get to know another person that doesn't like the same team that you like, because then you understand different life experiences. And what I wish for most fans is to be accepting of other fans, because how I was brought up
Mhm.
watching the game may not have been like someone else. And we have to be open to new experiences in life. And we have to celebrate each other, because this is just a long ride, but it's a short journey. It's a short journey, and we should be having fun and laughing and joking and not fighting because your team took a L. If you
Right.
feel like that this is the last mess I'm gonna leave for the rest of the league. If you feel like you have issues, or where you feel like you can't handle your liquor, just say no. Drink one and be done with it. But don't get yourself out here in trouble fighting and stuff like this with security, or be banned because you can't handle your alcohol. If that's the case, or you can't handle your team getting the L, because we're all dealing with a lot right now. So I would suggest this to stay home this season and get yourself together, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible, because we're just there to enjoy the game. And it's not
Yep.
fair to subject other people's kids to that. It's just not. And to see it on television, it may be someone's parent and their kid is at home, wonder if their family, their parent is going to make it home. So let's just take it, like Brady said, take several steps back and just celebrate each other, in the most respectful way possible, and enjoy the game. I mean, that's why we came. That's why we purchased the tickets.
Right.
And let's just leave it at that. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're all just fans of the game. That's what
Yes,
we are.
ma'am.
So, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I'll definitely have you back. You're some of my favorite
Thank
guests.
you.
We're definitely
Thank
gonna come
you.
back and talk more about this a little bit more often, so we can get a lot of people on and have some definite conversations. So, everyone, we're going to touch base again, hopefully next week. But if not, just stay tuned to the Facebook page. I posted there. We're also on YouTube. You can see previous shows there if you want to share it, if you were on. And ladies, tell everyone how they can find you. We'll go Brandie, and then we'll go Nicole.
Hey, you can find me on Instagram. It's Lady Be Nice. It's Be Nice B01. I'm also on Facebook, Brandie B-Nice. Um, like I said, you can hit me up. Fan of fans, love football. I mean, fan of most fans. Don't get me wrong. Some fans they can, let's be real. I'm gonna be real with it. I'm gonna be real. I ain't gonna never give you no fake story. I'm gonna give you the real story. Some of them can go somewhere else. They need to stay in their house, like Pris said. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing. Off. Don't even come outside. Uh, but absolutely,
And what about
It's
you,
nice
Nicole?
meeting you.
you
I'm
too.
Nicole McClamb on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I don't do a whole lot of sports chatter on there, but I'm on Facebook a lot, and I enjoy Pris and her surveys and keeping us entertained and following other teams that we might not follow. So I appreciate you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're
Absolutely.
welcome. Now you can find my
Absolutely.
information on the Facebook post. As you know, I usually comment pretty much on everything because that's just me. And one thing I would tell you, I love to laugh. So if you want to have fun too, join us in the Facebook group, National Football Lovers. We have a lot of fun in there, or at least try to when we're not running around with all these games in life. But it's always a safe space for you to come in and have some fun and not feel like you're going to be objectified for your team or because you're female or because you're whatever. We pretty much have everyone in the group. All teams, all 32 teams are represented there. So come send us an invite so we can get you in there. And most importantly, have fun and enjoy the games, enjoy the season. I hope your team does well, but not, even though we don't have a head coach, not as good as my Raiders.
Skull.
You guys have a good night and we will chat soon.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right, bye.
Good night.